Welcome to Nourish by Spinneys, the podcast which promises to inspire you to eat well and live well. I'm Devina Divecha.
And I'm Tiffany Eslick. Welcome to a space we hope to nourish your heart and soul. On the show, we chat with leading players in the food community, from farmers to foodies, as well as health and well-being experts. It's all about engaging conversations and fresh ideas.
I feel like I should start this episode with a bit of a warning. You're going to hear me eat. What is that? The little Rice Krispie type things.
The Rice Krispie? It's Rice Krispie.
Oh, really? Fair enough.
Rice Krispies with pink peppercorn.
Nice. There's a bit of that tingle coming in. I'm going to eat all of that, just FYI. We're on location today at Brix, a dessert restaurant by Three Fills, with its executive chef Carmen Rueda Hernandez. Now, here's the exciting stat. There are only 10 restaurants like this in the world.
That's fascinating. I didn't know that there are only 10. I can see why. And I think for someone who's maybe never gone to a restaurant like this, it could be overwhelming, like the idea of multiple desserts. But I say go. I've eaten at Carmen's restaurant, I think 3 times now. And every experience has been different. I love the sensory kind of the way everything works together. You know, as she's putting out a dish maybe about winter, then the lighting will change and the temperature will change and the music changes. And it all just plays and works well together. I think I remember her creating something about memories and getting me to remember, or any diner to remember childhood memories. And there was like a fun thing with like popsicles, you know, and it was served in a cooler box, and it was just wonderful. So yeah,
I guess it makes sense given her history in the culinary world. She has worked in Spain at El Bulli, in France, the UK at the Fat Duck no less, Singapore, South Africa, Poland, and Saudi Arabia before she moved to Dubai. So we started out our conversation by mapping her journey to becoming the executive chef at Brix. She's actually from a small town in Spain and moved over to Madrid to study culinary arts.
Even if I enjoyed a lot and it was like a great experience, I always understood that all my chefs, even if they were savory, they're always telling me, no, I don't know anything about pastry.
Okay.
No, this is just leave it for the pastry chef to do it. So I was very curious on what it was so special about pastry, because no one wanted to have anything about that side.
Okay.
No one wanted to touch the pastry because it was very technical and very special. So I decided to study a little bit more about pastry. Since I was at the school, I decided to keep learning. In Spain, we have a great pastry chef, but at that time, some of the best chefs, they were in Barcelona. So I decided to move to Barcelona. And in Barcelona, I joined one company that it was very specialized into chocolates and cakes. And obviously, it was a whole new world. And I fell in love with chocolate.
That's amazing. It sounds like a dream job working with chocolate.
Yeah, actually, for me, it was like, you know, the way that you can create chocolates, not only chocolate that you are going to eat, also chocolate creation, showpieces.
Okay.
It was something very unique. So I decided to keep learning more until I decided to never come back to the savory area.
Okay. So desserts captured your heart.
Yes, absolutely. So I decided to jump and I moved to France. I was working there in a very, very nice place for 1 year. Learned a lot of French also.
Good.
And then after 1 year, I saw that there was still a lot of more. So I moved to UK because it was a very nice restaurant, 3 Michelin stars. They were making so many unique things. Then I have the chance also to work in Spain for a very special restaurant. It's called El Bulli.
I am so amazed by that. That's amazing. Tell us more about that, please.
Well, we have a dog in the restaurant always.
Oh, yeah.
Always taking care. It's one of these places that you always wanted to go.
Yeah.
And you get the chance to learn something that you never think that exists. I don't know. It's very hard to explain because usually you have your books, you read your books, everything is written, everything is one way to do things.
Yeah.
And you get there and everything is totally the opposite.
So it's kind of, it opens up all the possibilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is no limits. And then I moved to Singapore. And in Singapore, I was working in a place because I was very curious. It was at that time, it was a dessert restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And they make a lot of edible art. So as I say, I'm very creative. So I wanted to know more about how can someone make art. It was like a all whole walls full of bonbons and chocolate
Wow.
and very exciting and very unique things. And when I was there, they called me back, my ex colleagues from the Fat Duck,
Hmm.
because they asked me if I wanted to come back there because there was a position available as a executive pastry chef of the experimental kitchen.
Ah, okay.
So at the Fat Duck, they have this experimental kitchen,
Yes.
which is just a laboratory where the chefs we just play and learn all day around. So this one is another dream
Another
job.
dream, yeah.
Yes, very complete job,
Yeah.
but very hard because obviously my job it was create new menus, and all these menus they are always based into uniqueness. So everything has to be unique. It has to be wow. It has to be something that no one did before. So you get a lot of pressure.
Yes.
But obviously you get so much knowledge that is balancing.
Yeah, and I can imagine the, I guess, fulfillment you get after creating something that perhaps no one has seen before.
Yeah.
Must be brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's very unique, it's very special, but obviously the stress and everything that you get is very high. It's
Yeah.
a high price sometimes, but it's very very nice.
Yeah. So what was it that attracted you to this role or this city? Yeah, to move here.
Obviously the city now I'm discovering that the city is really nice, it's amazing. I love that there is so many cultures in one place, so there is so much to learn from so many people. Obviously so much food that you can explore without have to traveling so much.
Yeah.
But obviously what I came here is just because what they offer me was something very unique.
Yeah, I can imagine for you challenges would be around the actual creation of the menu, but then also from the point of view of customers understanding what you're doing. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So especially the biggest question is how I can have a menu based on only desserts.
Hmm.
But the thing is that when we are creating, we create menus always from the point of view of a restaurant. And in my case, because my background is Michelin star restaurants, I always base my menus on that.
Okay.
So all those restaurants that I've been working before, they have 14 to 30 courses. So always the dessert is something very powerful, but very light, and it's never very sweet.
Yes.
And this is what we are following here. We have desserts that they have a full flavor, a lot of textures, they are never sweet and they are never heavy. So I use a lot of ingredients, but I never abuse of butter, creams, flowers. Of course, I have them, but I don't abuse or I use in another way that they can give me the 100% of what I'm looking for
Hmm.
to give just the flavor. And for sure, it's working.
Yeah.
Everyone is living in a very, very happy way and a very surprised also because to give it like an upgrade of the menu because it's a very different concept. What we are doing is also to make the menu with a storytelling. I am behind the counter,
Yeah.
the guests they are in front. The lights they are much more intimate than now,
Yeah.
and we are also playing with the mood. So depends which is the dish that we are having. We have different noises, we have different lightings. Sometimes there is some smells that allowed us to bring you to the country or wherever we need you to take you to make you feel more than only food can take you.
Yeah. So with the dishes, what you serve, like you say, you've changed the lighting accordingly and
Mhm.
music. So you've got like a whole curated playlist.
Yes.
And wow, that's brilliant. Yeah.
And obviously, through the storytelling, we are just bringing people to, for example, in the Silk Road the menu that we will speak later on. We have different countries, so we want to place everyone into that country, what
Right.
is happening around, so everyone has the mindset of where you are at that moment.
Yeah. I'd love to talk about the food. And, you mentioned the Silk Route menu. So far, since your time at Brix, how many menus or changes have you had so far?
So usually we have always two menus
Okay.
running. So one is the short menu and the other is the longer menu, because obviously we understand that people is not so much ready to try the long one, and sometimes you come in from somewhere else and you don't want to have 6 courses menu. So we always have one short. It's 4 courses.
Okay.
At this moment, we are running one menu which is called seasons. So we go through summer, spring,
Lovely.
the whole seasons, and each dish just gives you the feeling through the ingredients, through the textures, through everything of that season.
Okay.
And at the moment, the long one, the one that is going to be changed very soon, is called Escape. And this one is one of the most popular because in Escape, we are just going through different countries because we created just in this moment where it was just after COVID. Many of us we wanted to escape and just start to go somewhere else, but we couldn't go because it was a lot of restriction. So I think that inside of many of us we wanted to escape somewhere else and we really couldn't. So we thought, okay, if we cannot escape physically, let's escape through the food.
Oh, nice. And so that's going to change soon, you said.
Yes, so this long one, the 6 courses, we are changing now for the Silk Road.
Yep.
And we choose Silk Road because it's a trip also.
Yeah.
So it's a way to escape. And also because Silk Road gives you through so many different options. And it has so much going on in terms of food, flavors, textures, and history also
Yeah.
that we wanted to discover and to create something based on that.
Lovely. So what countries have you included in your menu, the inspiration?
So at the moment, it was very hard because we have so many countries.
Yeah.
But we started in China. We go to India. Then we are stopping in Persia. Obviously, Persia was before.
Yeah.
But we really like the concept of have one of those old countries. 'Cause
Yeah.
we can bring all the way that they used to have to eat in at that time.
Right.
Then we have Turkey, Greece, and we finish in Italy.
Lovely.
Because many of us we realize that we know a lot about the starting of the route,
Yes.
but we don't know so much about the end of the route.
That's true, actually. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
So we wanted, since we are here, we wanted also just to have some extra touches, and we are going to finish in Italy.
Okay. Is it a secret, or can you share a little bit more about the dishes that are going to be there, or even the inspiration, or even the spices that you might be including in it?
Nothing is a secret.
Okay.
We just the only thing that is happening in Brix, we never write down the menu of any of those experiences.
Okay.
Because sometimes we use ingredients they're not used to have it into desserts.
Okay.
We don't put any very strange ingredients, but the ingredients that we use in many different times and shapes is not how people used to have them.
Oh, can you share an example of maybe one thing
We
that?
call walnut.
Okay. Interesting.
All of
yeah.
us we have walnuts.
Yeah.
Usually they are caramelized.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
not many people that have them pickled.
Right. Yeah.
So obviously it's like a very opposite, like a walnut should be sweet and we put vinegar
Yeah.
and salt, and obviously it's not the main ingredient, but all these small touches of cucumber, it can give you a different perception of what you are having,
Yes.
and it brings you to many different places. We have also a little bit of seaweed.
I do like seaweed.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many times you have it on desserts?
Not many. No, I can't quite picture a time. Yeah, you can think about it on salads. I've even had it in like a drink, but can't think of a dessert where I've had seaweed. No.
So, for example, in our case, because seaweed is salty, we kind of caramelize, we make it very crunchy. So it gives to us a touch of saltiness plus sweetness.
Nice.
And at the same time, we can just combine them and give to us a very nice balance in between sweetness and savory.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
All these small touches, it can give you a different perception of what you are having, and it brings you to many different places. But because I know how the brain is working, I don't want that people get primed by the flavors.
Yeah. They like, oh, this is what I'm going to get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because we all have our own preferences about what we are eating. And I know that there is certain ingredients that I don't love them. So if I read it, I always come in with the mind thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I just prefer that people knows about the countries, the concept, and then just be open to explore and enjoy it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. We'll take a quick break and be right back with more from Chef Carmen and my tasting. That's coming right up. Welcome back. I'm Devina Divecha, and you're listening to Nourished by Spinneys and my conversation with Chef Carmen Rueda Hernandez from Brix. Thoughts so far, Tiff?
You know, she has such a rich journey coming to Brix, and I'm so enjoying hearing about her philosophy around food and how much planning each menu involves.
Exactly, and it shows up on the plate, as you know yourself.
Yeah, I'm not too thrilled that I had to miss that day.
Yeah, I wish you were there as well because you really missed out. As she mentioned, the new menu is called the Silk Route, which traces that whole journey starting in China. We end up in India after that. But for me personally, the standout course was called Persia. So you'll hear me try that in a few minutes. That's followed by Turkey, then we go to Greece and finish off in Italy. Also, each course has a drink pairing, which was phenomenal. It really complemented the flavors of the dish. It took you back to the richness of the ingredients of those countries, and even the tableware changes with each course. I could really go on and on. Gosh, just thinking about it now, you must be so busy because you're running the restaurant, but you're also developing the new menu,
Yeah.
which
Yeah, I would like to have a longer day if it's possible. But I mean, I like to be always in the restaurant as much as I can to make the storytelling for all our guests. I mean, we have a great team, and in the team we have some storytellers also, and it's also fantastic. But obviously, it's very nice to see the reaction of the guests
of course.
because it's very special, and also you learn a lot because each guest they give a different point of view while they are eating, and sometimes you make a dish and you don't thinking so many things, but the guests they get, oh, I got this memory, oh, I just get transformed, or I really moved to somewhere else, and you never thought about it
Yeah.
because you are doing it, but it helps you to realize that you can get a different notes and different
Yeah.
touches.
Oh.
So it's very helpful also.
Yeah, no, I can imagine how much, I guess, joy you get from seeing people react
Yeah.
to what you've created. Yeah.
It's something that I really didn't expect it at the beginning
Okay.
because obviously I've been working in many restaurants, but it's very special because obviously the guests they are in front of you, so we are just looking at the eyes, and this is something that we are missing a little bit these days because we are so focused into the phones that we forget a little bit into look at the eyes of who is serving you. But having this restaurant, obviously, it's quite small, so it's easier for us to get the attention of our guests,
Yeah.
and it's really nice.
It's great to hear the stories as well, like you said, straight from, the mouth of the creator, as it were, just because it just makes such a difference, I think, when you're able to explain your vision.
I mean, it makes a big difference because when the guests they are eating, they know what they are eating, and if they have any kind of questions, they always can ask you directly. So it's much more easy and much more interactive. But obviously, I'm creating, but I don't want to forget that I have a big team behind
Yeah.
that helps a lot.
Yeah.
So obviously, I couldn't make it if I don't have the team behind because it's a lot of things and it's a lot of ideas also. There is a primary idea, but always it's being touched by everyone.
Yeah.
But there's a final touch that we all have to agree on it. It's not only myself saying
Yeah.
how we make it.
Yeah.
So I just don't want to forget that the
Yeah.
team is a very, very big part on that.
Yeah. And so during service, when you've got, the menus running, how many people are working with you behind the table?
Depends of how many guests do I have. If we have a full house, usually we have two chefs, uh, two servers, and one person specialized for the drinks because it's a lot of drinks also.
Yeah.
So usually we are six working for the full house, but it's very nice. It's very special also because everyone also knows what we are doing and everyone gets involved because, as I say, it's experience. So while I'm talking, everyone knows what they have to do
Right.
in the specific time. So everyone is also involved into the story
Yeah.
very, very directly.
No, I do enjoy these experiences a lot where, like a chef's table style of food. Ooh, what do we have here?
So in here we have our touch of Persia.
Okay.
And in Persia, the concept is to be eating outside because Persia is a very vast land. By the records in every book that we've been reading, we know that in Persia, especially Persia, they have to eat in many, many nights in the outside.
Okay.
They didn't have so many places to stop. So I always keep imagining how they've been eating so many nights under the stars.
Okay.
So this dish is based to all these kind of moments where they couldn't cook so much
Okay.
and they wanted to have something warm. So we create this special dish.
Okay.
It has a few different parts. We just give you one part
Ooh,
today.
okay.
So you can just open it.
So I open with the
Yes.
clips. Okay.
And then you open and you take one of the parts. You can just spread a little bit of the cream and a touch of the jam on top. Yeah. So we have a well clothed cream. We have a very nice brioche. And we have some orange and Earl Grey jam. So the idea of this dish is to have this kind of warminess when you are outside. You are having many sandwiches, many bread, and you just take whatever you have in the on the way from here and there, and you are just combining everything.
That jam is so nice.
Mhm.
I really like that. I don't normally put like a jam on my bread so much,
Me neither.
but that is beautiful. That is so nice.
We make jam and we call it jam, but actually it has a very, very low percentage of sugar.
Mhm.
So technically it
That might
couldn't,
be it. Yeah.
yeah, you technically it couldn't be called jam. But as I say, what we are looking for is to have a very well balanced menu. So the oranges is giving to you acidity, but you have the touches of the tea and white tea because this dish is coming after India.
Okay.
We understand that if you're coming from India, you already have your tea in your luggage. So some of the things that you will be cooking, it will be part of what you have. So because you just pick your tea, you have tea on your jam.
Mm. And you make this in house.
Yeah, of course, everything.
Okay.
Brioche, cream, everything that you have, we make it in house.
Oh my god. Mm. Mm. It's really
And
nice.
the drink is a very
Okay.
special one. So we create a coffee kombucha, and from this
Oh,
coffee
it smells
kombucha, we
fancy.
make a cocktail. And this cocktail gives me a lot of notes of what I usually have when I am outside, when I'm making camping, when I'm
Mhm.
going somewhere. A very special flavor.
I have not really tasted a flavor like this in a drink.
So we part from the coffee, but because we understood through the books and through everything that we've been reading that many of the drinks that they've been having through the way is being fermented.
Mm.
And obviously kombucha is a fermented
Yeah.
drink. We wanted to create this kombucha base, and we like to add on all the spices and everything that we can have on the way.
Yeah.
So I think that this one is one of those flavors that they goes very well along with the fireplace,
Yeah.
being outside, having your nice brioche.
I don't even know what to say. I'm drinking, if that makes sense. Like there's different things that are making me like I'm almost feeling a sense of not smokiness, maybe. I don't know what else to call it.
It's a lot
I-
of
Yeah.
warming it into it
Yeah.
because, as I say, each creation is a thought to make you feel something. So this is why everything is meant to be into us a specific way.
And I genuinely the pairing between this and that is it's beautiful. Honestly, it's very good.
We always make first the dishes,
And then
and
yeah,
then we have the drink based on the dish.
it's beautiful.
And for me, they are not mocktails because it has all the complexity that a cocktail can have.
Yes.
The only thing that's that we don't use alcohol, but we have from fermented pineapple to kombuchas to so many different
Yeah.
ingredients and so much thought behind that.
Exactly.
It's not just a mocktail, which is a juice, some
Yeah.
fizzy.
Yeah,
It's
and
much more behind. So
like you say, this does have a lot of complex. I mean, we couldn't even explain fully the
Yeah.
previous drink. So it's beautiful that you're able to do that because, like you say, sometimes you go to a place and they essentially you just get fruit juice, which is fine. But
Yeah.
sometimes you want this.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's true. Sometimes you don't want to get bothered and you want it simple. But if you go somewhere and you want to enjoy the food, sometimes you want to
A
have
pairing.
extra.
I then wanted to ask if you could perhaps talk us through the dish that would be from Italy.
So Italy is probably was one of the hardest to define
Okay.
because there is so much going on in Italy. And obviously we all think in Italy, and if we think in dessert, we all think in tiramisu. But there is so much more in Italy that is happening. and we've been discovering that we wanted to create a dish based on coffee,
Okay. Yeah.
touch of chocolate. It has oranges, and there is a very specific part of Italy in the north, in the Piedmont,
Mm-hmm.
that they have a very beautiful hazelnut. Probably it's one of the best hazelnut that I ever tried.
Okay.
That we have a very nice combination of orange, hazelnut, coffee, and chocolate.
That sounds divine.
Together with a very special touch of, in Italy, in Christmas, they always have panettone.
Mhm.
So all these notes of this baking panettone, they are also involved into the
Oh,
dish.
brilliant. That sounds
So it's
really
a
good.
very, very interesting combination. It's gonna be always the last because it's gonna be a little bit more heavy because
Got it.
the nuts, the chocolates, obviously the coffee.
Yeah.
So we want that everyone lives with the last touch of coffee and chocolate. But it's a very, very nice, very good one.
Nice. I also wanted to ask because I noticed when I was walking to the restaurant today that there's a big signboard outside that says Cafe Brix as well.
Yeah.
Is that what is that? Are we getting like a bigger Brix experience? What's going on?
So many, many guests they still have in mind that Brix obviously is a dessert place and you can come in and you can have just like a normal coffee.
Yeah.
And obviously coffee is something very special for us because
Yeah.
again it's all about the experience that you have is elevating its flavors. So we thought that it was a very good way to serve something different
Mm-hmm.
to have in a dessert place
Yeah.
only for desserts and coffee.
Nice.
So we end up elaborating this place, and at the end, it's gonna be Bricks Dessert All Day Cafe. So we will have a nice breakfast in the morning. We will have our big drink with special cakes, individuals, or cakes for birthdays or any kind of celebration. We will have also like a good amount of bonbons and chocolate creations.
Lovely.
So you can join there or you can just bring it home. Also coffee, specialty coffee, a lot of different drinks. Because through the experience, we realize that there is so many guests that they appreciate a lot the cocktails and the drinks that we are making. So we will also have some of them into the retail.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we will keep making the master classes, but now we will have a bigger space for master classes
Lovely.
and a lot of things relative, all with food and desserts in a total different way.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
That sounds
Next project.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when is that hopefully meant to go live?
Well, we hope probably it will be totally open by April, beginning of April.
Okay. Oh, brilliant. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask the question that we ask all our
Yes.
guests on this podcast. What is it that nourishes your soul?
So the easy and the right and the truth is traveling.
Okay. Is there a place, a country or a city that you haven't been to that is on your list that you're thinking, right, I have to go there next?
In this escape menu, the last dish is based on one of those countries that is in my wishing list.
Okay.
So the number one country and the one that we have in the menu is Indonesia.
Okay.
And I've been living in Singapore, so Indonesia is very close. But for different reasons, I never have chance to go. It has so much there that I want to discover.
Yeah.
But the list is huge. And probably number two is Peru.
Oh, yes.
Jordan is also there.
Mhm.
Sri Lanka,
Oh, yes.
Australia. I can carry on for probably hours because it is a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, now I move a lot of more for food,
Yeah.
but also there is a cultural part that it really
Yeah.
have a big thing on me. So obviously Peru, they have a great food, but they have so much of all the history. And Machu Picchu is one of these things that I've been seeing all my life, and I really want to go and discover and see.
Yeah.
That is definitely on my list.
Well, I hope that on your next holiday, whenever you take it, you're able to see one of these places.
I hope so. Thank you very much.
Yes, but until then, thank you for taking people on a journey of their own with all this food to different
Thank you very
countries.
much.
I certainly have visited a few just by trying these. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
This episode was brought to you by Spinneys and is hosted by me, Devina Divecha, and Tiffany Eslick. We're produced by Chirag Desai, and artwork is by Michelle Clements and Jihan Youssef. You can follow Spinneys on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more, and visit us at spinneys.com, where you can shop for fresh produce and a variety of local and exclusive products.
We'll be back in 2 weeks with our next episode where we chat to Chef Daniel Boulud. Talk to you then.